Hello, welcome to Maltbox. I'm Andy and this is Whisky review number 22. What I have for you today is a single malt Scotch whisky from the Highland Park distillery, and that is the Gordon and Macphail's collection 8-year-old. Gordon Macphail are a very famous independent bottler of Scotch whisky. They also own the Benromach distillery. As with a lot of independent bottlers, what Gordon Macphail tend to do is they have a lot of warehousing. They either buy mature stocks from distilleries and then bottle them after a couple of years or sometimes straight away, or they actually buy new spirit from the distillery in the casks that are provided and basically set them down in their own warehouses and bottle them after. So Highland Park, 8 years old, 43%. It's not a single cask. As to chill filtration and as to colour, I can't tell you because it doesn't tell me, unfortunately. Nope. But I mean, it's quite light. Yeah, it's quite light. There's the bottle for your perusal. Okay, Highland Park is one of the very few distilleries left in Scotland that has its own maltings, so they can malt their own barley on site, which is brilliant. They have an annual capacity in terms of spirit production of 2.5 million litres a year. It is Scotland's most northerly distillery, and you know, it's an incredibly popular brand. The 12-year-old or 18-year-old, I mean the 18-year-old in particular is phenomenal whisky. This 8-year-old is very affordable, retails for around 27 to 35 quid depending on where you get it from. Call it £30 really on average, which is fantastic value for money in this day and age. It carries an age statement, which is good. Without further ado, let's get on to the tasting. The nose is quite fresh. It's got red apples, barley, sugar, bit of caramel. Not much smoke actually. Not much smoke in the nose at all, which is quite surprising from a Highland Park, which do tend to use, you know, peat. Peat actually cut from the moorlands on Orkney as well, which is great. They don't have to ship it from anywhere. A little bit of spice in there. I think cayenne pepper. Bit of vanilla. And sort of like a wet granite, wet stone kind of note as well. Petrichor, if you will, after it's raining. 43%. It's, you know, lovely legs in the glass. It's good to see something bottled at 43% as well, instead of 40%. I mean, the official tasting notes. So what were they? Ah, alright, there you go. Sweet and fruity, hints of peach and mango. Traces of toasted malt, vanilla develop. Palate is rich mulled fruit flavour with a touch of smokiness and black pepper. Well, we'll see, won't we? Got about half of this left. I tend to find that it's quite an easy midweek drinker. Also, you know, I mean, you don't feel too bad about finishing it, if you know what I mean. It's 30 quid. It's not like a 300 quid bottle, not that I have any of those. You know, I mean, for the price, sorry, it's great value for money. Mouth feels good. Cream, vanilla, pepper. Got that bang on. Still a tart fruit. Sort of think like maybe like quite a tart plum, like a green gauge. sort of granola, raisins, cereal-y kind of things going on. Still not much smoke. There's a little tiny touch of smoke in there, but think of like a coal fire that's going out. It's only very light, it's there in the background, it's just sort of like an afterthought really. It's not at the forefront, but in fairness, in a lot of Highland Park bottlings, the smoke is not the main part, it is just there to play its own part within the entire makeup of it. So finish is quite short, to be honest. Not a right lot going on in the finish, a little bit of oak, a little bit of vanilla, and then it's done. A little dry bitterness kind of towards the very end. Let's go back to it again. Yeah, I mean, on the nose, still very tart, sort of apples like I mentioned before. There's not much else there that stands out for me than what I've not already mentioned. Maybe a little bit of ginger, I suppose. You know, again, to comment on the mouthfeel. Relatively thick. Not entirely mouth coating, it's not amazingly oily. It doesn't really grip to your gums and things like that. Again, on the palate, I can't really elaborate too much more. Maybe this time, like a bit of toasted banana. If you put banana on a grill in tin foil, a bit of brown sugar on it. Pecan, maybe. That sort of sweet nuttiness coming in towards the end. It's a very solid whiskey, and for 30 quid you can't really knock it. It's what I would say about it is it's well rounded and it's a very well made spirit. It's not going to blow your socks off. It's not going to be your whiskey of the year. It's not going to be one that you sort of think, oh god, do you remember when I had that Highland Park X amount of years ago? It was phenomenal. But do you know what it is? It's solid, it's consistent, and it's enjoyable. It's quite simple, it's quite straightforward, it's easy to enjoy. So with that in mind, I'm going to give this an 83 out of 100. Main reasons for that are pricing, 30 quid. That's, in my opinion, very, very good value for money in the current industry. It's spotting an age statement despite the fact that it's quite a young age, which is also a positive. It's from a good distillery, as I say, well made spirit. And I think it was a good time to bottle it. The age actually, you know, that style actually suits that kind of age that they've, you know, for this particular batch that they've picked. I think it works really well. So on that note, thanks very much for watching. See you soon.